Honorary Bode Olaonipekun, the Honorable Commissioner for Commerce, Industry, Cooperatives and Empowerment, State of Osun. I was born about 53 years ago to the family of Chief and Mrs. Ezekiel Olaonipekun. My primary and secondary education I had at Ibadan, the then old Oyo State. I attended Methodist Primary School at Bode, Ibadan, and I proceeded to Loyola College, Ibadan. Then my first degree in political science I had at the Ondo State University, now Ekiti State University. It used to be Ondo State before the creation of Ekiti State, and my master's in managerial psychology from University of Ibadan. My doctorate in administration, business continuity and sustainability, I obtained from a joint program between University of South Africa and Lee City University, Ibadan. I've had opportunity of working both in the private sector and the public sector, nationally and internationally. I work with Advanced Concerns, a consulting firm to start with. I also work in a marketing company, Kola Jola Nigeria Limited. I work with Fence Technology Nigeria Limited. All of these were short experiences in marketing before I got a substantive appointment with Cartel Worldwide, which is a specialized product marketing company, where I rose to the position of a manager. I veered into the public service for knowledge, because I've always had my eyes on the public service and politics in particular. And my dad used to tell me that if you will go into politics, you need a knowledge of how the public service works. So that's particularly tailored my interest in the public service. And I was employed as a civil servant in the Ministry of Interior, then used to be Internal Affairs. And from there, moved on to the National Identity Management Commission after the Department of National Civic Registration, DNCR, then transformed into full-fledged National Identity Project Department of Government. After that, I also had experience in the public, in the international civil service. I was given an assignment with the Department of Peacekeeping as international specialist in administration in Darfur during the Darfurian War. I served in El Fasher in Sudan. There, my administrative experience, expanded to a more wider scope with a multicultural experience and also a wider range of duties, so to speak. And after that, I discovered that it would be difficult to participate in governance, staying outside the country, and having my eyes on politics then. I, I returned home after 2 years of service at the international level. So I started my own project management firm, and that gave me the opportunity of, being part of politics and electioneering process at my local government and my ward, to be precise. So as I'm doing my business, I'm also working on my political journey. And in the process of my political journey, I found myself contesting for the House of Representatives in the Lai Federal Bode Federal Constituency. And I am here. That is the brief of my journey to where I am today as the commissioner in the state of Osun. I would like to thank God Almighty for the enablement and the grace. For the Bible says that it is not of him that runneth, nor of him that willeth, but of God that showeth mercy. It's only by his mercy that we have been able to accomplish the little contribution that we have put forward serving the state of Osun. And secondly, I want to appreciate His Excellency Alhaji Adeboyega Oyetola for giving me the opportunity to serve. If not for the opportunity I have to serve, I wouldn't have been able to contribute in whatever measure to humanity as well as governance in the state of Osun. Having said that, we came in October 2019, and particularly looking at what we met on ground and the vision of my principal, Alhaji Adeboyega Oyetola, to impact lives, and also not just impacting lives meaningfully, constructively, and profitably to the state as well as the beneficiaries of whatever that the state has in plans for the populace. So this brought us to the drawing board to identify what are the things that falls in line with the vision and the expectation of our principal, Alhaji Adeboyega Oyetola. There is what we call the populace expectation. You ask the people what they want, not giving them what you think they want. And that is where we draw our plans from. The youth, women, and men in general terms, were yearning for a production system whereby our small, medium, nano enterprises can have, a leverage on which they will be able to be independent and also give back to the society. So looking at all of this, we know that we have to come up with a plan that will empower, sustain, and make our people productive. So by so doing, we designed both skills acquisition and skills upgrade for the entire populace. And we targeted 15,000 individuals across the state. An accreditation was done, and senatorial by senatorial district, we organized training centers for about 15 vocations. So that was the first landmark based on the marching order given by Alhaji Bode Garitola in moving this ministry forward. This ministry, whether in terms of commerce, industry, industrial development, or cooperatives system, targets one thing, is to meet the needs of the people in terms of empowerment. Whether it's a very large scale, medium scale, small scale, micro scale, or nano scale. So starting out like that, God helped us to have trained and empowered, not just empowering in terms of knowledge, also financial. About 15,000 different levels of exposure to business. And not just training, not just knowledge acquisition, we also gave them some collected grants, some collected loans, which we monitor, ensure that the loans are channeled to the appropriate, channel to bring about production and invariably generate employment for our teeming youth. And that is part of the reason why unemployment level in Osun is about the least in Nigeria. This government has concentrated on job creation, encouraging individuals to stand on their own, have a vocation. Even we have graduates that participated in that program that are independent today in their own various business ventures, and they are doing very well. So that is the first landmark. Secondly, we ran into the murky water of COVID barely 1 year after the court case, and we just had to rise up to the occasion. Part of the achievement in this area is ensuring that our people that were locked in by reason of COVID are fed. And as a result, part of this skills upgrade extended to post-COVID strategy that the state government adopted. And that strategy touched on all the people that were locked in, that require one expertise or the other, that can be acquired within the shortest time possible, and now bring them into livelihood again. Because Most businesses ran down, most shops closed, most entrepreneurs could not produce again. So, starting all over again, for those that are big or medium scale enterprises, they were given loans through this ministry from between 100,000 and 3.5 million were distributed either directly from the state government through Osun Micro Credit Agency or through collaboration with the federal government under the CBN NASA loan arrangement. And I can tell you categorically that within that period, the state government of Osun mobilized nothing less than 8 billion naira into this economy to make sure that those that were trained in this short 3 weeks, 1 month training course in different vocations were empowered and make sure they start life all over again. And we have nothing less than 15,000 people in this category. 7,500 direct access. And we believe that at least one person will employ one other person. So indirectly, another 7,500. So in all, we will have empowered and put back to business and bring back to business about 15,000 individuals in the state. And the result is all around for us to see. That is in the area of intervention. In the area of commerce, we have our market development strategy, in which renewal of our market structure, took place. We reorganized our Olowos, the traders. They have their various groups. We reorganized them to a semi-formal structure, whereby they also, through their respective groups, Olobi, kola nut sellers, yam flour sellers, yam sellers, fruit sellers, and all of them in different categories like that, can also have the opportunity through their groups, to access certain form of alleviation, financial, training, seedlings, and all of that. We collaborate with other ministries like Agric. We work together with environment. We work together with lands in different forms of areas that collaboration will make, some sense. And because of that, some of our markets that have been destroyed either by fire or by other natural disasters came under reconstruction. As we speak, Atakumosa market is still going on. Phase 1 is completed, phase 2 is going on. Oduogbe market in Ile-Ife is under construction now. We have so many other market development that we are working on, that it's going to be one after the other. When some are completed, we move to another phase. That is on market development. On chambers of commerce, that is the organized private sector that drives the economy of the state. Osun Chamber of Commerce, regrettably, had been docile for about 10 years, thereabout. We thank God it is during the administration of Alhaji Gboyega Oyetola that Osun Chamber of Commerce came back alive. And trade fair that chambers of commerce all over the world are known for had not held in Osun for the past 16 years. We thank God that
the jinx was also broken during the tenure of Alhaji Boyega Oyetola. And what we did with that is to make the trade fair this time around contemporary and localized. So what we did was to have a joint agric and solid mineral trade fair, whereby our strength in agriculture and mining were brought to fore, for the whole world to see. And it was a huge success. Besides that, we have been able to also bring to Osun Nigeria American Chamber of Commerce. We now have Osun State Chapter. Nigeria Vietnam Chamber of Commerce, we have Osun Chapter. Nigeria Taiwan Business Relationship, we now have Osun State Chapter. We are working on many others through which these chambers of commerce can impact positively and constructively, on our organized private sector. On the front of industry, prior to this administration, we met practically no industry working in Osun except international breweries, Elisha. All other industries were closing down. The nail industry closed down. The wire and cable industry closed down. The steel company at Elisha closed down. Beverages company closed down. So what we did was to organize an industrial clinic whereby all owners and operators of these industries were invited, and there was a diagnostic approach to understand why they were failing. We now come to realize that not all of them had financial challenges. Some failed because of poor advisory services, some failed because of personnel, and some failed for other reasons that were identified. And what we did was to now come to the rescue. Those that had financial issues, some have bad debt, some had, the ministry became a consultant to all these industries. The ones that have issues with the bank were, engaged, and the bank also engaged with midwife, a sort of brokering of a truce in the financial disagreement. Some, their loans were rescheduled. Some that required more funds were given. Some that needed advisory services, we rendered that, and we monitored to the conclusion. I can tell you categorically today that out of many industries that had gone moribund in Osun, 7 of them are working now at full capacity, ranging from carbonated juice company to leather works to roofing sheet production to other small, medium industries. And we have not relented. We are still continuing, taking them batch by batch to see how the ones that are yet to come back alive will come back alive. We have petroleum products production here in Osun. Several other companies like that we have worked with. And on the side of establishment of new industries, our free trade zone is gradually being reinvigorated. We had challenges before the administration of Alhaji Boyega Oyetola came on board. Those challenges are being surmounted, one after the other. And our free trade zone is coming back alive again. We have some industries also there that are, coming up. We have the automobile. Nigeria Automobile Council is there, working now, trying to put their automation together. The fruit juice company also is coming up, trying to get the plan interpreted on ground now. It's been a very tough season to get things together before people will see physical manifestation on ground. So all that are going on. We have Dagbolu, the International Trade Center. Dagbolu is an upscaling of what the previous administration tried to put up as an international market. We looked at it, and the projection, we could see that it goes beyond an international market. Osun, having a peculiar location as a landlocked state, surrounded by 5 other states with active business borders. There is no border shared with any of these other states with Osun, that we don't have business activities, transactional activities going on. So that gave us the courage to say that apart from having an international market, apart from having a trailer park, apart from having a container depot, we can also have a bonded terminal. What does a bonded terminal mean? That is the clearing and forwarding formation. As you have in Tinkan, you have in Apapa, we also can have here. Because when cargo and containers from abroad can be destination Osogbo, Nigeria, or Dagbolu, Nigeria, when they get to Apapa, they are loaded on the rail straight to Osun. And we target the 5 states around Osun, as well as the 5 in the middle belt. So we have a third of the Nigerian maritime businessmen and women as our clientele. So the bonded terminal is ongoing. We have the provisional approval of the customs. We have the aggregation for products also at Dagbolu. We have warehouses also at Dagbolu. We have residential there. We have the commercial structure. We have the industrial layout there. Even there also, we have about 3 industries that are coming up. We have will be the largest in West Africa plastic company. Dipson is there. We have tomato paste industry also coming up there. Also in Dagbolu. So it's a whole hub of business and commercial activities. That is besides the regular market that is there. So all of these put together forms some of the achievements that we can point at in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. We undo nano, medium, small, and the big large-scale enterprises. And I can tell you categorically also that most of our traders, in whatever form of thing you are trading in, you have everything that is required to be better that we offer from this ministry. Through the Microcredit Agency and CBN collaboration, We've had over 4,000 beneficiaries under that scheme. And to date, through the microcredit agency, the state of Osun has disbursed over 5 billion naira to all these our traders at different times during this administration. Also, from other interventions that we have done, Bank of Industry, also, we have over 500 million naira disbursed through the Bank of Industry to our small and medium enterprises owners. And besides that, we have our traders who have benefited from the collaboration between federal government and the state government on NASA loan. Some got 200,000, some got 400,000, some got 500,000, some got 1 million, and some got 3.5 million. And in different categories like that, we have recorded over 5,000 beneficiaries. That is besides the microcredit CBN scheme. I'm talking about other interventions through the collaboration of the state and the federal government now. And all that said, other grants, 50,000, 30,000, 20,000 for small nano enterprises, those that do their business in front of their houses, inside their room, are the nano. They are the ones we call nano. It's very, very small. That 20,000 can make a lot of difference. And it's making a lot of difference. Thousands of people that have collected such interventions through our empowerment schemes. Also, government, in collaboration with the federal government, registered about 6,600 companies free of charge, because there are businesses that most of our people will have benefited from that they were denied by reason of not having a registered company. So because of that, we have 6,600 beneficiaries in that category. That is another area. So all of this put together in one form of intervention, grant, loan, we have over 28,000 people, beneficiaries in Osun. I told you earlier that the formation of our market was not structured. We have artisans that were structured, but the market people, the glory of restructuring our trade groups and organizations should be given to the administration of Alhaji Bode Oyetola. As we speak today, there is no trader that does not belong to one or the other of the restructured trade groups or associations. Our lobbies now, they are in a structured form. Cashew growers and sellers are in structured form. Alata, pepper sellers, they are in vegetable sellers. Seasoning sellers, they are all in one form of structured group or the other. And if you want to build a place, first build the people there. The moment the people there are built, you can be rest assured that that community definitely will be built. You can see that most of our markets today, they have surpassed the extent to which they cover before. None of our markets are not populated. In fact, the problem we have now is to control the upsurge of traders and market people and buyers incursion into the road. We have serious incursion problem right now go to Bode, go to Igbono, go to Otaifun, go to all our markets are, don't let me say overpopulated. They are populated to the level of incursion into the road now because of space. That is why government is now building new avenues, to accommodate all those that are selling on the road. We have our J market, we have the Ayegbaju market, which are new markets, modern markets, to accommodate the overflow from our traditional, periodic, and old markets. So all of these are efforts made by this administration to ensure that our market development, structuring, and management are, comparable to what obtains in other civil and well-structured society. There is no way you can manage the market as a government without the owners of the market. Government is not the owner of the market. Some markets are traditional markets. Some markets are old markets. Some markets are specialized. All these markets have their leaders. And there's nothing you can do as a government without carrying the leadership of all these markets along. The Yaloja General, as well as all the Yalojas in Osun, the Babaloja General and all the Babalojas in Osun, we all work together. And that is what we can say is responsible for the smooth landing we have in ensuring that our market development strategy and drive is also, on a very detailed and acceptance level with the people of the state. I told you those that were moribund were revitalized. We have 7 in that category. New ones, upcoming. I've mentioned about 5. I've mentioned the fruit juice. I've mentioned the automobile. I've mentioned the tomato paste. I've mentioned plastic. I've mentioned leather works. There's many others that I can't even remember now that are new by reason of one intervention, support, or assistance of this administration. And besides that, there are other working relationships that we have now with organizations like NEXIM to bring about a drive in some of our sectors and sub-sectors. Let me give you an example. We have a Cocoa Revolution drive between the Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Agric, NEXIM Bank, and the consultant. We are talking with the cocoa producers, cocoa growers across the state. We have reached an advanced stage in getting 5,000 hectares of land in each senatorial district for the species of cocoa that will be harvestable within 1 year and 18 months. The seedlings and fertilizer, other equipment, and land preparation and all of that will be financed by NEXIM. We have gone far on that. We have the cashew revolution as well. Our cashew growers and marketers are organized. We are working on something out for them as well. These are different things that the state government, under the leadership of Alhaji Gboyega Oyetola, has drawn into the state. Just, approaching the level of fruition is where we are now. And all these associations, all these people in these subsectors of the economy can testify to our working relationship in achieving all these feats that I have mentioned. So there are too numerous to mention. Some are still in the pipeline. Some are at the stage of signing of memorandum of understanding. Some are at the stage of moving into the country, one hindrance or the other. And some are already here, taking things to the next level. Thank you for that question. We have been in a very, very good relationship with PWD, people living with disabilities. They are chairman, they are executives, they are members. In fact, I go to their hostel from time to time, and also working together with my colleague, the SA to the Governor on Civic Engagement, Honorable Osun in engaging people living with disability from time to time. And in all of these schemes and programs that I have mentioned earlier, there is a quota that they have in everything we are doing, in every program, in every intervention. Some of them that we trained in production in the category of small and medium scale, they are full of appreciation. In fact, one of the awards on the table here, it should be one of the awards they have given me. I've received numerous number of letters of appreciation. In fact, if I may show you, one just arrived. I will show you the date for you to see how cordial. Okay, this is the latest. This is the latest. Association of the deaf. That is how we have worked with them. They are not left out. The youths are not left out. The women are not left out. We make it an all-encompassing approach in all the programs and interventions that we take out from this ministry. Well, let me tell you something. As you are coming in, there is a roll-up banner out there that every purchase you make in Osun grows our economy. We canvass and encourage our people to buy things that are made or produced in Osun. I can tell you, I have nothing less than 5 pairs of shoes that are proudly Osun products. They have been on the TV. Any of them that I see doing very well in all these areas, we train them. And they are coming up with good products. We must be able to showcase them. So the reason why the economic downturn is not affecting us so much in Osun is because we are producing and we are buying what we are producing. Let me give you an example. The food production, the monthly oúnjẹ ìlérí that we do, when it is garri, we make sure that it is our producers in Osun that does the supply. If it is rice, we don't do imported rice. You can check any rice that we distribute. They are locally grown rice, destoned, and quality. So the money we are rolling within our economy, keeps circulating. That is why it will be, a cushion for our own traders, our own people in Osun economy to survive the downturn. So we must we must continue. I will appeal to our people to continue in that stead. Buy what is produced in Osun. Prefer what is produced in Osun. We have production in all sectors: leather works, fabrics, shoes, casual wears, face cap, food items, well packaged, export standard that we have in Osun. So if once we continue in that spirit, our economy will hardly be shaken by any of these economic downturn that is the whole world is facing now. Not that it will not get here, but the cushion, or the cushion effect of making sure that our economy revolves around what we produce will go a long way to bail us out. Just like the Yorubas we say that igi kan ò kí ń dágbó ṣe, a tree cannot make a forest. Without the cooperation of the staff of the ministry, there is little or nothing that we will be able to achieve. The role of political leadership is different from the role of the administrative leadership. We are to give direction. We are to give, the policy thrust of government and monitor it that, it is done as appropriate. The administrative process, the implementation lies with the civil servant. And by and large, to a very large extent, they have been supportive, without which we wouldn't have achieved so much. Like I always say, that my principal, Alhaji Boyega Oyetola, is a gentle lion. A lion is ordinarily fierce in his look. So for him, he's not fierce in his look, but he's tough in his mien and in his disposition. He's a firm administrator. For some of us, we have learned, for me personally, I have learned immensely a lot of lessons, both financial management, painstakingly scrutinizing documents, and the horror around him that solves all problems is a great lesson for someone like me. There are certain things that will be so hot in your bosom that by the time you take it to His Excellency, by the time you will leave, you will see that that thing does not even warrant igniting a fire in your bosom in the first place. And the approach and manner with which he solves problems, it requires a school of thought that it will sit people down to teach. And also his administrative prowess cannot be undermined. It gives you every opportunity to express your capacity, and is someone I have enjoyed working with. I thank God that I am part of his team, and if again and again I have opportunity of choice of who my principal should be, I will choose him again and again. He's such a wonderful leader. Well, I came from somewhere.
Okay.
And I thank God for the opportunity to serve. And I want to thank the leadership of the party for cooperation. And ultimately, I want to thank my principal for giving me the enabling environment and all that is required for me to perform. I want to appreciate him. I came in from the private sector. I will return to the private sector. If it's my consulting business is still there, I will return to continue where I stopped. But I know that the experience I've had there will also help me, has broadened my horizon, which will in turn also speak to certain things in my private business life. I appreciate serving with Alhaji Boyega Oyetola.